Baruch Hashem. I'd like to talk to you today from a couple of texts. From the Likutei Moharan, Part 1, Book 1, Lesson 4. Beautiful, beautiful teaching in Lesson 4 that corresponds to the teachings in this wonderful book, the Essential Kabbalah. The Essential Kabbalah, the heart of the Jewish mystic. Jewish mystics are to be celebrated by the enlightened of the world, because Jewish mystics understand what mystics in every culture ultimately come to realize is that the reality of the diversity is essentially the same. The one source, the reality of duality is unity, as I say, because the essence of existence is one subsistence, singular source of being. And this we find in Deuteronomy 6:4, when Hashem says to Israel, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Eloheinu, Hashem Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, Hashem, has one infinite source of creativity that is known as the Ein Self in its unmanifest infinite source. Infinite. Hashem is infinite. That's something to be comprehended. Maybe perhaps never comprehended. I'm saying maybe that's something that's incomprehensible, perhaps a better way of saying that. But it's something to be contemplated, that's the word. It's something to be contemplated, that Hashem is incomprehensible, that the Ein Self. Now I said I'll talk about from Lesson 4, because in Lesson 4 of the Likutei Moharan, Rabbi Nachman's teaching here that our great sage and Rabbi Rabbeinu Moshe didn't really die in a human sense. It was an aspect of, he says in Lesson 4, of divesting himself of materiality. And so our great teacher had evolved to such a state of awareness and unity with God. That's what it is, because God awareness is consciousness. God awareness is not intellectual in a sense to the fact that there is a God, but God consciousness is a phenomenon of your consciousness having merged with the ultimate reality. And the ultimate reality in this source is the Ein Self. Said that he was able to divest himself of materiality. And this was, divesting is only, in sense of Rabbi Nachman explains, transcending subjectivity and experiencing universality, which he calls divesting himself of materiality. And he said that this divestment of materiality is done in two ways, running and returning. So inside of ourselves, Rabbi Nachman also says that the degree to which one can become excited in interacting with the letters. He doesn't give any specific technique to transcend, but he makes a statement about the degree to which the infinite was revealed as expressed by the number of words that were opened and caused to shine. And these words are the words of Ivrit, because the basis of the word is the letter, and the letters of the Aleph Bet are primal impulses of divinity, energy. And when you interact with them, their energy is revealed. And Rabbi Nachman apparently had the experience of slipping beyond these words into the realm, into the transcendent realm, slipping beyond the phenomenal activity of being, creating the universe, into the unmanifest infinite light. For during the experience of oneness with the infinite, one's individual consciousness is suspended, as in no one knows. But when one returns from the experience, one returns to one's personal existence, to one's consciousness. So beautiful. Rabbi Nachman is explaining what mystics and all of us have known, who have had the gift of transcending, or have a technology by which we can systematically take our minds into that infinite field of pure creativity and being. And then that creativity and being is infused into our own mind. And when one returns to one's own subjectivity, Rebbe Nachman says, then, so one returns from the experience, the impression is relayed to one's consciousness so that one comes to know that everything is good and everything is one. Please read this in Lakute Moharan, Lesson 4. Rebbe Nachman so gives such an eloquent explanation of why Moses did not die, but simply merged with the infinite light of his being. And we have that capacity too, at a certain level of our own development. We become sensitive to the kingdom that is within. And rather than to have an outer focus, then the focus becomes inward. And that's the beauty of the Aleph Bet. The Aleph Bet for me is an experience of activating something that is within me, my own consciousness that is within me. And we also have knowledge of how to meditate and transcend our subjective experience and systematically, daily enter into that infinite field of pure creativity and infinite light. And that's the light, the no-limit light of the highest frequency that has been revealed with Nanak Nachman Nachman Mi'uman. Nanak Nachman Nachman Mi'uman is the single, double, triple, quadruple song of redemption in this cycle, expressing now the no-limit light of the Ein Sof, which we now can have access to through our meditation and prayers, different techniques, different technologies, but the quest is to experience the inner being, the region of, as Kabbalah says, non-duality. Non-duality is the theme. Non-duality, the essence of divinity is found in every single thing. Nothing but it, that is, divinity exists. Oh, it's so beautiful. And so as we make our ascension spiritually, this is spirituality. The difference between spirituality and religion, spirituality appertains to the whole of seeing the unity of diversity. Religion appertains to attributes, individual attributes of the infinite. And then individuals who are born into certain attributes, born into certain religious traditions, rabbis, gurus, teachers, preachers, imam, become advocates and proponents of that particular branch of knowledge. But the reality of duality is unity because Hashem is one. And this is where we're moving into this level of consciousness, because recognizing this is a function of consciousness, is just not intellectual. And what's happening in the world, we're having a tremendous influx of divine consciousness that's cleaning the windows of perception and unstopping deaf ears so that we may hear the celestial hymns and voices of Hashem in all their different permutations and combinations, and have them to affect us and elevate us. So this is the theme going forward. This is the theme for mature people. No longer being proponents of division. No longer defending my turf, but seeing I'm not in the pond, a singular pond. I'm in the infinite ocean of being, and being is here, and being is there, and being is everywhere. Baruch Hashem, Nanak Nachman Nachman Mi'uman.